If you're thinking about studying in Finland, you are in the right place. My name is Megha, and welcome to Couple of Expats, the channel where we talk about studying, working, and living in Finland. Today's topic is 5 tips for applying to Finnish universities. And this is going to be a special one because we have Suvi-Anni Huhtinen from the University of Turku Admission Services, who's sharing her top tips for applicants who want to get admitted into Finnish universities. If that's you, keep watching. So, Anni, welcome to Couple of Expats. We are so glad you're joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, if you could tell our audience your name, your job title, and your employer.
Yes, so my name is Anni, and I work as a marketing planner at the admission services of the University of Turku, and I mainly work with the international student recruitment.
I can't believe it's already been 4 years that you've been working for the admission services.
Yes.
So I must ask, have you noticed any difference in the international applicants that you've been getting over the years?
Good question. Well, maybe not with the applicants per se, but for sure the number of applications, the flow of application has for sure changed. So I remember back in 21 when I was writing the first press release of the application round results, I was so proud writing that we had the record number of almost 2,000 applications. And this year we topped 10,000 applications. So it has, it's 5 times bigger now.
Yeah, that's quite a change.
Yeah.
In just 4 years.
And just 4 years, yeah. And there is actually no significant change in the number of seats that we have in our programs. So a huge growth in demand.
You've clicked on this video so you know that we are talking about tips for applying to Finnish universities. So what is your first tip for our audience?
Well, the first tip, and maybe the most important one, is to prepare early. So in Finland, at least at the University of Turku, the application round every year is only for two weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks time to submit your application. And because the application period is such a short time, then you need to be well prepared in advance. So you really can't get your English language test in 2 weeks. You maybe can't get your educational documents from your own previous university in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So it's really like practical thing to start preparing your application and the attachments early. But it's also more kind of more fundamental preparation and thinking about your future goals. So you have to even like half a year before the application round, maybe even year before that, you need to start thinking about your own career path, what you want to achieve with this new degree that you are applying to. Mm-hmm. And, comparing different degree programs and choosing the right one for you, it might take a while. And the biggest success factor in the application is for sure knowing yourself, knowing your own career goals, and then finding the best match, best fit for you and your goals.
Yeah, that sounds very reasonable. And I think the more you're planned and the more prepared you are, the easier it's going to be when the application round opens.
Exactly. The questions can be quite hard if you haven't thought about those before. And writing a motivational letter, you need time to do that and to really hone that, because the motivation letter can be the thing that makes you stand out in the application. So you need to know yourself and your goals, and that takes time.
Yeah, and it's very clear if one has motivation or doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. We can tell reading the motivation letters. And my second tip would be to read the instructions of each university and each program that you're applying to. Because in Finland, we have this thing called joint application. And it means that you can, with the same online form, you can apply to several programs of the same university, or even to several universities that have this same joint application round.
Okay.
And at first it might seem that, hey, one online form, I just can fill the same information to all the universities, but the universities have different application criteria, admission criteria, and even the programs within one university can have requirements like motivation letter or something like unique to that program. Mm-hmm. So it's really important to read the instructions carefully and pay attention to the questions on the form. It's not rocket science. The form is really clear, but it requires some, time and attention to really carefully read through the form.
Yeah, and if you are motivated to come to Finland, if you are ready to make such a big life decision, then you have to be able to read a form carefully.
You will need to do that also in your studies in the future. And the three biggest reasons for ineligible applications are missing proof of English language skill, missing attachments on the form, or some kind of a wrong academic background.
Yeah.
So, but these two first reasons are easily avoidable if you just read the instructions, attach the right documents on the form in the right format, and prove your English language skills based on the instructions.
But you're watching this video, so you won't make this mistake. So we've already got some really good points. What else do you have for our audience?
Well, my third tip would be to stand out. Easily said than done, for sure. My best tip here would be do not use AI to stand out, because AI is not made for standing out. If you want to show your uniqueness, you should go and really tailor your application based on your own interest and the program that you're applying to, and AI can't know your reasons behind your application. So what to do instead of using AI?
Yeah.
Well, I would start by going a little deeper than the study info portal that you will do the application in. So looking under the hood. So we have these program description pages, program information pages on the university website, but there's usually a link to a study guide. So where you can see all the courses of that program available, and then maybe some even thesis topics or something to tell you a little bit more about what the program is all about. So familiarize yourself with that, and then think about how that program, those courses could help you achieve your goals. So really tailor the motivation letter. And do not use the same motivation letter to all of the programs that you are applying to. Tailor it for every single one. So that would be the biggest tip. And if you still would like to have some outsider opinion, instead of AI, maybe ask a friend or a family member if they would give some kind of an outsider point of view and maybe some objective point of view to your motivation letter.
Yeah, I think we've all seen the memes where the person has forgotten to delete the ChatGPT when they have copy-pasted from ChatGPT. So let's not do that.
I have to say that after reading thousands of motivation letters, we can tell also admission services, even without the ChatGPT,
Even without
logo there, we can tell if AI has been used, and it's not allowed to use AI in for the motivation letters, and as said, it's not helping your case if you're using it.
Yeah,
there are no shortcuts when doing an application.
Yeah, so AI should not be the one who's writing your motivation letter.
My tip number 4 would be to get to know Finland. So if you are planning to have at least 2 years of your life in Finland, studying a master's or even longer for bachelor's, maybe doctoral studies, or even maybe having the rest of your life in a country, in a new country, you would like to know maybe a little more than, the basics. To be honest, Finland, it's not for everyone. So I think that you need to know the unique characteristics of this small country to really know if the Finland is the right choice for you. So if you're looking for a destination with peace and quiet, closeness to nature, stable everyday life, safe country to maybe start your family in, so maybe then Finland is the right choice for you. But if you're looking for really kind of a bussy metropolitan vibe, some big city vibe, cities that never sleep, maybe even some kind of more competitive kind of pushy work culture where you can really go above and beyond and constantly achieve and overachieve. So that's maybe then Finland is not for you. So Finland is maybe best fit for those who really value the work-life balance, study-life balance, and then the ability to have the life of your own. So really have your hobbies, your values taken into consideration when planning your free time and planning your studies and planning your work life.
Yeah. And you never know how long you're coming for. You might think that you're coming for 2 years, and the next thing you know, it's been 20 years. Or it could be that you get off the plane and in a few months' time you understand that this is not exactly what you had in mind.
Yeah.
So it's best to do some research about where you're coming if you're going to be spending some percentage of your life there.
Yeah, and since it's such a huge life change to pick your bags and come to Finland, maybe from across the world. So you really want to do your homework before that. Read maybe more than just the first pages on Google. And actually, my last tip would also cover this one.
So how should the potential applicants learn about Finland? How can they get to know the country other than Google's pages, of course?
Well, my final tip would be to talk with current students of the universities in Finland. So many universities, also University of Turku, they have several possibilities to be in touch with current students or alumni. For example, there's a possibility to chat with current students. Usually those are student ambassadors. And do not be afraid, even if they are called ambassadors, they don't only give you this glossy picture of studying. They are quite honest and truthful about how the real life as a student in Finland is like. I would definitely recommend chatting with one of the current students. Ask about what are the studies like, how are the courses and maybe the learning methods, but then also about the everyday life, what have been the biggest cultural shocks, for example. So the students are not the best experts to answer any admissions related questions. Yeah. So all of those could be
official.
Yeah, exactly. So those could be directed to the admission services of each university. But they are the experts of the everyday experience. Mm-hmm. So if you want to know if Finland and the university in question would be a good choice for you, then talking to current students would be an option. And if you are maybe too shy to contact a student ambassador directly, then I think that joining webinars would be a good option, because there's a lot of these kind of information webinars before the application round where the university shares information about applying, but there are also some current students present sharing some general thoughts and maybe their stories, how they ended up in Finland. So utilizing those opportunities would definitely give you the final reassurance that are you making the right decision for yourself.
Yeah. And I think these ambassador programs have been something that have been kind of initiated in the last 5 years or so. I'm one of the first international ambassadors, and so is Chris. We were the pilot program,
yes,
so to say, of the University of Turku. But what I wanted to actually mention is that you can see into the life of an international student. That can help you decide whether that's right for you. So ambassador programs are not unique to Finland. If you want to decide between Finland and, let's say, Sweden, or Finland versus another country, you can always use the everyday resources that are available to you through social media, through webinars, to see what would be a better fit for you. So we've heard some really great stuff, and I'm sure the audience has been taking very careful notes about what to do and more carefully about what to not do. But what is one thing about the university application process that is very familiar to Finnish students but might not be so familiar to international students, and we want to remind them?
Well, I think that would be following the rules very strictly. Mm-hmm. So Finnish people love their rules, and we really appreciate and value deadlines and, following instructions. For example, if you would like to apply within this 2-week period and you are submitting your application online 5 minutes before the deadline and you experience a network error, you can't submit your application, the online form closes, and you email the university that, hey, I was just about finalizing my application, but I had a network error. Can I send the documents via email? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Finns would really follow the rules and not allow you to do that. So we would then tell you that, hey, please apply again next year. That might come as a surprise for many, is that we really follow the rules. And it also stands with the academic evaluation and the application evaluation in general. If you have really nice portfolio, for example, or something extra that you would like to attach to the application form. And you attach it there and you really hope to get some extra points for doing that. That's not the case. So we only check the things that are asked for. So even if there is some valuable and even interesting valuable information, we won't take that into consideration if that's not stated in the official admission criteria. So you have to submit only things that are asked for and nothing more. Of course, it doesn't hurt to attach anything more, but it doesn't help you either.
Okay.
And all of this is because we want to treat everyone equally. So it comes also from this value of Finnish culture that we want everyone to be treated equally. We don't want to give extra time for anyone or give some extra points that the others weren't aware of.
Yeah, so things can be pretty black and white in Finland, so make sure you don't lose 1 year or the chance to study in Finland just because of a last-minute network error, Wi-Fi error, whatever.
But it can be also reassuring, knowing that if I read the instructions and I follow them, I will have the best chance of getting admitted. So you can't really get any extra points or be too creative with it. You just follow the rules. They are clearly stated there, and then you have the best chance.
So what is one thing that Finnish universities really value in an applicant?
Well, I have to be quite diplomatic here and boring. It depends a lot on the program in question. But I would say that one thing that Finnish universities value highly in a student and Finnish employers value in an employee is this thing called oma-aloitteisuus. And I really don't know a good translation to the word in English, but I would say it's something like proactivity and taking your own initiative. For example, in your studies, that would mean that we have this freedom of choosing courses to your degree from different faculties, even from different universities, and you have quite big of a freedom to tailor your degree based on your desires and needs and wishes and goals.
Yeah.
And but also that comes with the responsibility. So if you have made a study plan, like a decision, you have to stick to that and you have to commit to that and make that happen. So there's the professors or the staff of the university. No one comes to ask you like, why didn't you complete your credits or anything like that. So you have to check yourself that you are on speed and you have everything you've planned to do. It also comes to the application period. So if you would like to highlight your oma-aloitteisuus in your application, that would mean that you take a good look on the program description and the courses, as I mentioned earlier, and then you try to portray and explain that in your motivation letter. How does that stand in your situation? So how are you gonna make the most out of the degree and tailor that degree towards your goals, your career goals? So I would try to somehow showcase your oma-aloitteisuus in your motivation letter if possible.
Yeah, that's a very valuable tip. How to bring out your personality as well as your personal motivation, because in Finland everyone is very independent and you are expected also to be an independent learner when you are a student and an independent worker when you're going to be an employee. So start from day one.
Yeah, that's a really good translation actually. Independence is also part of the oma-aloitteisuus. Yeah, so being independent.
Yeah, so I've understood.
Yes.
Understood the assignment.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've heard wonderful tips today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I hope the audience has learned a lot of useful things because I know I have. So if I'm going back to university, I know what to do. Okay, we've heard so many good tips in this video. I hope you are ready to start working on your application for Finnish universities. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel about life in Finland. A big thank you to Suvi-Anni Huhtinen, who made time to appear and share her tips with you today. And we're going to leave her details in the description box below. And thanks for watching and see you next time.